Hi team, and welcome to your lesson this week with me, Mrs. Garrod. Now this week we're going to be thinking about our homes. Let me share my screen with you and we'll start our lesson. So the first thing that we'll need to do today is to gather some resources. Then we'll think about the different types of houses that we might see. We'll think about the features of a house or a home. We'll create our very own home. And then we'll get to share it. You can share it at home with your friends and your family. So for this lesson, you will need your listening ears, your looking eyes, and some construction materials. I've chosen to use Lego today because that's what I have at home, but you could choose to use blocks or stickle bricks or something else that you like to construct with. So pause your video now and go and gather your construction materials. So the first thing we're going to do in our lesson today is think about different types of house that we might see while we're out and about in our neighbourhood. Houses can look very different, but there are some things that are the same about them all. Have a look at these houses. I can see that there is a white bungalow. My turn, bungalow. Your turn, bungalow. A bungalow is a type of house that is all on one level. It doesn't have any stairs. That's a bungalow. It's all on one level. And then next to it, I can see a tall, high-rise apartment block. An apartment block like this has lots of homes all inside of it. There are lots of different homes and lots of different sets of stairs to go up to the different levels. It's not like a bungalow. It doesn't have just one level. It has lots of levels. Then the next picture you can see is a picture at the top of lots of houses that are joined together. They are called terraced houses. My turn, terraced house. Your turn, a terraced house. Great job. A terraced house is a row of houses that are all joined together. Now underneath, I can see another picture of a mobile home or a static caravan. My turn, static caravan. Your turn. A static caravan is a type of home that has walls that are not made out of bricks like the usual. They're made out of a different material. And sometimes you might go on holiday and stay in a static caravan. That's a different type of home. And then lastly, there is a picture of a house all on its own. It's a detached house. My turn, detached house. Your turn, detached house. That means a house that stands all on its own. I wonder if you've seen any of these types of houses when you're on a walk in your neighbourhood. Maybe. I live in a terraced house. I live in a terraced house, and there are lots of terraced houses in my neighbourhood. I wonder what types of houses there are in your neighbourhood. Now, let's have a think about the features of a house. Now, when we were looking at our pictures, or if you look out the window and look at the houses in your street, or in your neighbourhood, you'll notice that they all have roofs. Some are triangle-shaped roofs like this, and some are flat roofs, but they all have roofs. Houses all have walls. They might be made out of different materials, like the caravan has a different type of material than normally we have in houses. They might not be made out of bricks. They might be made out of wood. That's a different way that we could make walls. They all have windows. Some have just a few windows. Some have lots of windows, just like the apartment block. The apartment block has lots of windows. My house just has 4 windows. And they all have doors because if there weren't any doors, we wouldn't be able to get into our house. These are the features of a house. They have a roof, they have walls, they have windows and a door. So we'll need to think about that when we're making our construction. So now it's time for us to do our building. So have a think before you start about what your house looks like. How many windows will you need? How many doors? Will your roof be a pointed roof like a triangle, or will it be a flat roof? I don't know. Have a think. Let's get ready to watch our video of me making my house. So first, I arranged lots of blocks. I picked out all of the blocks that I thought I might need. And I started to make a floor plan. So that's the base of my house. I'm arranging my base of my house to start to build my walls. Lego can be a little bit tricky to fit together. You have to use your strong fingers to fit them in place. A few more blocks for the bottom part of my wall. And then I'm going to need to build my walls up. I'm going to do another row to build my walls up higher. That's the first layer. Now I'm going to add another layer. And you see how I'm sorting through the blocks to see which ones I might need. Oh, move that one along. I'm thinking all the time about how to make my house and how I can make it the best that I possibly can. Now, once I finish this layer, I'm going to add in some windows and the door. The last two blocks in this layer, and then for the windows and the door, I'm going to add my door first. And then I'm going to add 3 windows. You might add more windows than me. You might add less. Now I'm going to continue building my walls until I've got to the top of the window frames and the door frames. Can you see how I've done that? I carried on building until I reached the top of the windows and the door frames. And then I did one more layer on top. Now it's time for me to think about the roof. I've got some bricks that have a slant to them to help me to make the roof. Can you see the 3 red bricks are slanted? Going to reposition them. They won't work so well there, so I'm going to move them. Oh, my brick wall broke, so I'm having to fix it. It's a little bit tricky to add these slanty bricks onto my roof. Bricks onto my roof. Trying to get them in just the right position. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. One, 2, tricky. 3. Now I need to do the ends. Can you see there's some gaps by the end of my roof? So I'm going to put some bricks in there. Because we don't want gaps in our roof. Another row of slanty bricks to make my roof a little bit higher. Oh, as I was pushing down, some of my pieces fell off, so I'm having to fix them. You have to be super careful with Lego. It's easy to break it as you're building. I'm finding this bit a little bit tricky. I'm having to keep trying. I'm having to persevere to fix the bricks in place. Hopefully this time. There we go. One last brick on this side, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Another row of slanted bricks. And now I'm going to have to put something across the middle to make the top of my roof. Make sure there are no gaps. Now for the final bit, the flat part of my roof. Oh, tricky, it broke again. I think I need to be a bit more gentle when I'm putting the bricks on. No big deal, I fixed it. Big deal, I fixed it. Using Lego like this is really good to help make your hands super strong so that you can be a great writer. And the last piece, and then I'm going to add a chimney to my roof because I have a chimney on my roof at home. So 2 bricks to make a chimney. And that's my finished house. I wonder what your house will look like. I wonder what your house will look like. Here's my completed house. Can you name some of the features that you can see in the house that I've built? Can you see the walls and the roof and the windows and the door? Can't see the door in this picture because the door is on the other side. When I look at my house, I'm wondering how I could improve the construction. Now, while I was building, I ran out of the slanty bricks. I would really like to have had another layer of slanty bricks and then a flat of slanty bricks and then a flat bit on top. But I ran out of bricks, so I couldn't do that. But it's really good to look at your construction and think about how you might like to improve it. Team, that's the end of our lesson today. So you could share your work with Oak National Academy if you would like to. But if you would like to do that, you'll have to ask your parent or carer to share your work on Twitter for you. You could share it on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, tagging @OakNational and #LearnWithOak, and then I'll get to see your work. But remember, you'll have to ask a parent or carer to do that for you. It's been lovely to have this lesson with you today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.